Hi friends, Wizzy here, welcome to a new Raid Shadow Legends video. So the Chaos Awake event is on. We can see the Bastion with the Demon Spawn attack and all of that. What's the trade dot? Okay, I got one of these. Let's see, they're mostly useless gears. We sold it, never mind, back to our main topic. Part of the event is the event dungeon being open, so we can farm it for pinpoint gear, which is a good gear. Farming pinpoint gear is less aggressive than it used to on the first event, which was Odin. Odin was the boss at this time. Why? Because now we know that they are bringing pinpoint gear every time. Maybe they'll introduce other sets, but for now pinpoint is always the gear you can get from the event dungeon. So you can farm it, the highest levels that you can farm comfortably, but there is no rush or stress because it will be coming back in a few months' time. There are so many videos from content creators, especially the ones that got access to the test server, to test theories and build champions without costing them actual in-game resources. I can do that, of course, but I've watched the videos and there are a few valid ones. So Nubraids is starting to release some budget ones. Bronco as well, though Bronco's level of gear is really high for most players. And my main target here is to show you teams that can farm the dungeon without having to rebuild any champions. Just use the champions as they are with the same gears that you're using for Arena or Hydra or wherever you're using these champions. Just use the exact same champions with the same builds and farm the event dungeon. So that's my target for today. So what I'll do, I'll first show you my level 25 farming team that can farm, of course, all the lower stages as well. So first let me show you the team. I'll talk about the logic and we'll do a few runs just to show the team here. So Marius is here, of course, in the leader spot. There is many replacements for Marius. He's not a must here. I'm using him basically because of the aura, and the other fact is that because of Ankora being part of this team, I want him to be in the lead position so Ankora can revive him when he's down with his skills on reset, so he can just use them again and make the run shorter. Then we'll use it Ankora just in a bolster set for shields. This can be a shield set as well. I'll tell you the exact role of all of them. Wukong for block buffs and also because he's a strong damage dealer and he can steal the buffs from the boss. Shamael's our solution for fears, of course, and Lydia for decreased defense and weaken. Let's do a couple of runs while I'm explaining what's happening here. So we're not faster than the boss, we were not faster than the other minions. I'll show you what I mean here. The first thing here is that for Lydia to place decreased defense and weaken, she's the fastest on the team, as we see, that will trigger Countess Lix, who we're seeing here on level 25. Of course, you won't have her on lower stages here, to put block active skills on everyone. My Wukong, this is my arena build, he's in stone skin, so he's protected from this. He can immediately apply the block buffs, but even if he's not, that's not so bad. Another reason for me to use Wukong is my Wukong got a 5-star Brimstone on him. Brimstone is one of the best ways of beating this boss. The other reason Ankora's here, other than being tanky in a bolster or shield set, is that she got a cleanse. So if your champions are not faster, or if they don't have a mechanic like block debuffs to counter that Countess Lix block active skills, then you need a cleanser in high resistance or in stone skin so that they can cleanse the team from this block active skills. Then your main damage dealer will go on. Of course, when he kills everyone, the boss will switch to the second form and nuke everyone. We have Brimstone going on, we have Shamael doing his thing as well, but the boss will nuke everyone. My bolster set, because it's tanky, will absorb all of this till level 25. It gets harder after this, and then basically the champions will do what they do. Lydia's second role here, other than decrease defense and weaken, is also placing block buffs so the boss won't buff himself or steal my buffs. And then we'll just hit the boss again with our damage dealers till he's down. If Shamael is down, Wukong can revive himself. He's an easy, weak target for the boss. But then Ankora can revive Shamael, so we won't get feared. It's not that important how it runs afterwards because this team is tanky enough. It has like a minute and a half, but of course I'm talking now, so it's taking a bit longer. And you see here Shamael also cleansed us again. And we'll just finish the run. I'll do a couple of more O2 ones for you to see the smooth running of it. Okay, Ankora will bring back the shields and of course revive whoever is falling. The important thing for us is to get a couple of good hits from Wukong and Marius, or my enemy max HP champion as we're seeing here, and Brimstone. If Brimstone landed a couple of times, that will help us speed the runs considerably. So this team is 100% till now, it never failed me. So let's do a couple of more runs, and then I will test options or maybe level 20, because my other champions are not built as good. And of course, my main purpose here is to use the champions with their same build. Like Shamael is in my Hydra build, Marius is in my like Slayer build for everything, Wukong and Ankura are in my arena builds, so I didn't change any builds to make this dungeon team work. Let's talk about replacements here. In the lead spot, if we're thinking about replacing Marius, we want a strong damage dealer, whether enemy max HP or not. Like, it can be Geomancer if we're thinking about not enemy max HP. It can be, for example, someone like Thor, other enemy max HP champions like Acresia, of course, or Newt, or Husk. Royal Guard won't work even on a lower level because he's negative affinity towards the boss, so you'll get a lot of weak hits. That won't help you make the farm consistent and fast. Wukong and Ankura, if we think about their spots, they can be replaced by someone like Ugu, and maybe another like cleanser in a strong bolster set like Pythion, for example, or anyone who will apply shields or cleanse, or in a bolster or shield set, just to make the team tanky enough. So this is the run. As I was saying, it's around a minute and a half in average. So the speed tune is important for this team. Like I said, I'm using these champions exactly as they are built. I didn't rebuild anyone specifically for the dungeon because I just don't like to waste server too much doing this, especially that during the month that we're farming this dungeon, we'll be doing the other stuff, like we'll be doing Arena and Doom Tower and other bosses, so I don't like to keep rebuilding champs, and Hydra of course. I don't like to keep rebuilding champions because it's just too much silver. So that's why I like to use the champions as they are built. If you want to do replacements with champions like you have, like I'm talking about Newt, Ugu, whoever you're going to use in these spots, just make sure that the speed tune works. What do I mean by the speed tune? For example, if we're talking about level 25, if your champions will trigger Countess Lix to put the block active skills on you, your cleanser will need to be slower than this. If you have someone who's going to be applying like decreased defense and weaken, of course they have to go before your enemy max HP champion or your big hitter, whoever he is. You'll need someone from multiple tests on multiple levels. Your best strategy all the way up to level 25. Of course, watch the videos from other content creators. I highly recommend Boozer, Nubraids, and Bronco for strategies. You can implement the same strategies that they are showing on lower levels if you don't have the same level of gear. Same for my gear that I'll show you right now, but the important thing is to have answers. Why I think the Shamael is very important in the team here, unless you have Doom Priest. So Shamael's spot can be replaced by Doom Priest because you need to cleanse those fears. If you don't cleanse the fears, you'll be wasting so much energy because of failed runs, just because of the fear triggering. While Shamael or Doom Priest can solve this problem. You can build Doom Priest in a shield set because if you have a couple of champions, like let's say that your support champions are going to be Ugu in a shield set and also Doom Priest in a shield set. Or Doom Priest and a shield set with a reviver, with Ugu being your cleanser and your decreased defense and block buffs champion. There are so many ways of doing this. The important roles that you need to fill: you need to have block buffs on the boss as consistently as possible. You need to have a way of doing damage to the boss. That's what Marius and Wukong of course are for. But you also need someone who will do strong damage to the waves, because the best way of doing this is to take care of the waves as fast as possible. The waves can apply nasty debuffs and do damage to you, so you need just to nuke the waves with Seer. There are multiple Seer strategies, or a strong AoE damage dealer. The important thing for you to remember is that if you're building that sort of a strategy, where your first task would be nuking the waves early on, the team has to be tanky using Vogoth, shield sets, or some way to mitigate damage, like Duchess passive for example is one of them, because the boss will turn into form 2 and nuke you really hard. So you need to absorb that first nuke and then take care of the boss. If you manage to nuke the waves and absorb that first damage wave from the boss, then you're fine. You can survive and just keep doing damage to the boss till you have that 1 minute farm or something. What are lower stages that you can farm if you cannot climb this high? 13 is the first stage that will drop 6-star gear, so that's a good stage for you to start with. 20 is best for energy consumption, and it's also for you to get higher rates of Lego and epic gear, 5 and 6 star. And then if you can climb higher, like I climbed all the way to level 25 just with this team that I built. And when it started failing on higher levels, I said, okay, fine, I'll just farm there. I don't need to climb any higher. I don't want to regear people, and I don't want to spend too much time like theorizing about the dungeons that will close in 4 weeks. So let me show you the builds to wrap up the video here. And if you have any questions that you want to ask me whether something will work or not, just ping me on Discord or ask me here in the comments. So let's check the champions. That's my Lydia in a bolster set. For other places in game I didn't rebuild her. So 280 speed, 450 accuracy, and of course some HP because we need it for the bolster set. My Ankura is in bolster and stone skin for arena. Those stats are not so good in arena right now, but over 100k HP, 4.5k defense, and then 244 and some resistance. The speed is important if you want to run the same stage because she's positioned to cleanse after Countess Licks, so that's her speed as you can see here. Marius is in my best ever Slayer set and he'll always be, so 240 speed, 340% crit damage, 5.4k defense, that's my Marius basically. Wukong in my arena build, 6 pieces of stone skin. So the important thing here of course is the speed and damage stats because he's in a hybrid build, so some accuracy but also some damage because he can do both to a good degree here. And of course Shamael is in my same build that I use him for Hydra, 230 speed and some damage because he can do some good damage, and accuracy because he can strip buffs with his A1. That's simply the team. It doesn't have anything crazy outside of the other theories that other content creators made. I don't like the dungeon. I don't like that it's over-tuned on higher levels. Of course, if someone got Siegfried, there's the 3-second strategies that you can use. I hope this one was at least a little bit helpful to you. Thank you for stopping by as always. I'll see you in the next one.